How's it going, guys? Welcome to the latest video in Dread Hunger. I thought I'd make a video for you guys today just to explain the different roles, because I see a lot of people in the community while they're busy playing not fully understanding their roles and what it does. And I know that I needed a video like this, so I'm just decided to make one. So we're going to start off with the captain. So the captain accelerates the ship 8% faster. Now that means when you put coal in the boiler and a normal person accelerates the ship, it takes a while for meter on the right per se to get to 100%, to get the ship up to full speed. Obviously, hence the word accelerates the ship faster. Now I understand that might be common knowledge to most, but there are some people like myself who didn't fully understand the fundamentals of it. So he actually starts with a very insane item as well, which is called the saber. It's actually quite hard to craft because of the rarity of the, I think it's an ingot that you get. Don't quote me on that, but moving on to the chaplain. The chaplain for me is one of my more favorite characters when playing the thrall, because he's more likely to find trinkets, those bone charms that you see. He's more likely to find bone charms, which can be really helpful for your thrall gameplay, as well as actually, if he's not a thrall, he can also sort of get rid of those a lot and actually get up a lot of points for a normal crewmate. Now, the items that he gets, the reason why I like the chaplain so much is that he actually starts out with a spade and a key. Now, I don't know if you've noticed this, but there are usually orange boxes or closed boxes that require keys to unlock, and you actually utilize that key. If I'm not mistaken, it's a skeleton key. You can use that to open up those boxes that you find, and you can also use that to open up your fellow crewmates who've been in prison. If you feel, you know, he's been cleared from being a thrall, or you're a thrall and you want to let your fellow thrall out. What's nice is in those boxes you will actually have more of a chance of finding keys. So it's kind of like an OP strat to just farm keys by digging up those boxes as the chaplain and then unlocking them as you see fit. So I kind of like the chaplain for that play style. The ship's cook's pretty straightforward. He cooks food faster with the stove. So stews are actually very overpowered in this game, and I think I see a lot of the times where people lose because they're not watching their vitals, their heat management and their food management. So what I've noticed is, as the cook, if you aren't the thrall, or if you are the thrall, it can actually go both ways. He starts out with one stew and he starts out with a cleaver. Now that's pretty OP, because as the cook, if you are the thrall or you are the crewmate, you can literally just rush food and get 12 pieces of meat or bones or blubber, depending what you want to play, and you can craft a stew a lot faster for everyone, so that it creates this efficiency where if everyone's fed, they kept warm and they kept fed with the stew, so it does both vitals. They can then focus on getting coal and winning more games. If the cook is a thrall, he can basically make everyone a cannibal and sort of make sure that the only meat that they can eat is cannibal food, for inefficiency purposes. Yes, you can still eat animal, but it's not as effective as it was if you weren't a cannibal. Moving on to the doctor, his healing items are more effective. I must be honest with you, I feel like the doctor needs a bit of a buff, because I haven't really played much of the doctor, but only sort of benefit I see that the doctor playing is that if you are a crewmate, you started with a syringe, and if one of the guys go down, one of your crewmates go down, you don't have to rush him to a bed, you can just inject him with that syringe and he'll stand up. The engineer for me is a really good class, because he starts out with a pickaxe and a barrel. So he's actually insane when it comes to farming coal, because you can stack 3 pieces of coal in that barrel, and you can use that pickaxe to get to high places that a lot of people that I see don't utilize that much, other than the thralls. So he also, as the engineer, crafts items 5% faster. I haven't really seen this as much of a benefit. I think if you're going to use the engineer, it's probably for his starting item with the barrel and sort of rushing coal if you're not the thrall. That's sort of my opinion on it. The hunter is pretty good. I'm assuming you've gone and played a game through to nitro. Everyone knows what nitro is. It's that TNT at the end of the game that helps you blow up the iceberg. So what happens is the hunter, he starts out with bear traps and a wooden axe. Now the wooden axe, I haven't really seen much benefit to it, except it harvests wood better, and I don't really understand what the payoff for that is. I don't know if you get more wood when hitting those wooden benches. But I would be interested to see if they'd bring in some sort of trees or whatever in a later maps where you can actually chop down trees and get more wood, but I don't know if they'll bring that in. Maybe that's just a side note. But what I like about the hunter is that he starts out with 2 bear traps. Now everybody can craft bear traps, which is fine, but you need bear traps to get wolves. So what I like to do with the hunter is rush wolves, get a sinew and a pelt, and then make sure everybody is has that extra slot. So that's kind of how I would play the hunter. The Royale Marine, I must be honest with you, I think is a underutilized role, especially in my playstyle. I don't know whose main's Royale Marine. If you do, please just leave a comment down below and let me know what your strat is. But he starts out with a gun and 2 bullets. Now that is, for me, one of the biggest things I've struggled to craft is finding a gun and actually making bullets therefrom. So if the Royale Marine finds that ingot that allows you to craft a musket, that musket is one of the most powerful weapons in the game, alongside the saber that the captain has. And he reloads firearms a lot faster, so I think if you level up the Royale Marine, he could be quite a mean defensive role for the crewmates, and quite an attacking person from the thrall's perspective. Now, onto my favorite character is probably the Navigator. Reason being is that he starts out with one of the most unique items in the game that I don't even think you can craft, which is his telescope, or his spyglass. So his spyglass allows you to actually spy on other members and hear what they're saying, see what they're doing, what kind of, if they're injured, if they're not. And you can, there's been a lot of games where I've actually caught out a lot of the thralls just by them hoarding their bone trinkets, and you can sort of give information. So he's a very intel guy, and the nice thing about him is that he runs 5% faster, so he's the fastest out of everyone. So if you're the thrall and they catch you, you can always outrun the crewmates. Also, if you're running from the thrall, you can outrun from the thrall. He's also helpful, starts out with a lantern, so he can really help people farm at night. In case we, like, let's say, for instance, the cook and the hunter need to make a stew, the Navigator would go with them to keep the lantern lit, making sure they don't die from the cold, and then you can do the same with the nitro. So that's a bit of the rundown of all the characters in Dread Hunger, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like on the video and let me know about your strategy in the comments below. Please subscribe to the channel, as there will be more content like this coming through. And if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know as well. I also stream on twitch.tv/Hammer7Jr. So if you'd like to come see me there, that'll be great as well. Hope you guys have a good day. Don't be toxic. Be nice. And if you have 142 hours more than the person that you're playing with, be helpful. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Have a good one. Stay safe and enjoy Dread Hunger.